Hi, I'm Bev Thomas, 1st District Commissioner, and I am running for re-election. I first ran for this job because I cared. I am a voter, a former small business owner, a mother, and a taxpayer, just like all of you. I love this place we call Camden County, and I have dedicated the last few years of my life trying to make it a better place. Civil service is a job that takes over your life. It becomes not just a job, but a huge part of who you are. I belong to several committees, organizations, groups, and clubs for two reasons. First, to be a part of the community. You cannot know what is going on if you are not out and involved. Second, when you run for office, you ask these people in the community for their vote. Therefore, I believe that I owe them my participation as a thank you for their support. The job of commissioner is probably the most complex and misunderstood job in county government. My job is such a dynamic dichotomy. The decisions we make vary dramatically. They range from something as ordinary as selecting the type of oil to purchase for road and bridge vehicles, or which printing company will get the bid for printing envelopes, to something as to whether a quarry should be allowed in the middle of a residential neighborhood, a decision that would affect the quality of life of many people and would determine their property values for years to come. For most of these residents, their home is their single most important asset. Or whether the health inspection of a restaurant rises to the level of keeping it open poses a risk to the public. Closing the restaurant is most likely the sole source of income for that owner, as well as the employees that need their jobs to feed their families, versus leaving it open and maybe having numerous residents, tourists, and children become ill, never knowing who among those might be immune compromised and the illness become critical. These decisions are not made lightly. They weigh on our conscience. They are reviewed over and over. There are second thoughts, third thoughts, fourth thoughts. They are made with the best information available at the time, and yet the decisions we make will still follow us. Each of these types of decisions affects someone, either for good or not. This is leadership, but it comes at a high cost. My job is always a work in progress. No matter how long you are in office, there is always a new hurdle, a new challenge, a new problem to be dealt with. Who would have guessed even a couple of months ago that a pandemic would be an issue to be dealt with? This virus has required hours of research and study just to be able to understand what we are dealing with, as well as how to address it. This has included evenings and weekends, endless phone calls from health experts, government officials at all levels, and residents. Issues like this don't punch a time clock. The opioid crisis was another issue we dealt with that required extensive study, review, and self-education. These types of issues require looking at all sides of an issue, evaluating all possible scenarios, and determining what would be the best solution for Camden County. Personal feelings cannot come into play. There is no place for personal agendas. Every issue must be evaluated on its own merits. The pros and cons weighed and examined for validity, effect on the community, and lasting consequences. And while every aspect of my job is still a learning experience, the real reward is having the opportunity to serve the community where I live. I am continually amazed at what has been and continues to be accomplished in this community by the hard work, commitment, and time donated by its citizens. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that the true backbone of keeping your county government working are its employees. Camden County is well served by nearly 300 employees who staff offices, answer questions, help you work through the system, protect our residents and our tourists, and keep over 900 miles of roads safe for us to travel. They allow us to plan for the future so that our children and grandchildren will want to return here to live and to raise their families, or to leave with fond memories. In this day, politics at all levels, even here in the county, have become ugly, deceptive, dishonest, and bullying. Throwing out any lie they make up has become the norm. That is not who I am. I always have and will continue to run my campaign and my office with honesty, integrity, and honor. I have the education, experience, and love of this community to qualify me for the job. Character counts. Experience matters. I would like to conclude by saying that my parents taught me many valuable lessons while I was growing up. Honesty, hard work, and giving something back to the community are values that have served me my whole life. I hope to continue putting these values to work for Camden County. Thank you, and I would appreciate your vote on August 4th.